Hi, good afternoon. My name is Bradley Chapman, and welcome to Raw Business TV this afternoon. What a great afternoon we've got. Last night we had a fantastic night, 2 webcasts back to back. In fact, we had our first international viewers. Today it's my great pleasure to be inviting someone on board finally to talk about property and property investment. In fact, today it's 12% returns without any effort. The easiest way to invest in property. Becky and hubby today are going to be talking on Raw TV. Now, like anything on Raw TV, you guys know that we're just everyday people and we're all trying to chase a dream and build a business success. And sometimes when you first go on a webcast, you can be quite concerned. So we're just talking with the guys here about webcasts and about, just going for it. These guys are really passionate about what they do. Not only that, they're in a market sector that, 1, is growing, 2, it's a really safe environment for investment. And what better return on your investment than right now in the property market? So, absolutely fantastic opportunity. Before we go into the actual show, I'm just going to wind forward a slide. Raw Business, as you guys know, online networking, getting you guys connected. We run a business magazine which is called Raw Business, and we feature some of the highest profile entrepreneurs in the UK, which is great fun. We're restarting our business networking events here in Chelsea in the next few weeks, and of course right now you're listening to Raw Business TV, and of course my own website for business coaching, inspiration and motivation. I was called crazy the other day in a really good way, a networking event I went to, which is really great fun. Registration is free to join Raw Business. So I'm going to click on the first slide and move slightly forward. Who are these 2 guys sitting here? Well, the camera's back to front, but I've got Martin on my left and Becky on my right. These guys run a company called Epic. It's Epic Properties, isn't it? Is that correct?
Epic Property Investment.
And let me tell you just a little bit about the guys before we hand over. First of all, Becky and Martin Cooper have been involved in property investment for a combined, total of 25 years. They don't look old enough, do they, right? Okay.
We started very young.
We started very young, which is great because that makes the investment even better. But over the last few years, Becky and Martin have bought and sold numerous investment properties. I'm trying to read the screen, I haven't got my glasses on, both personally and on behalf of clients. Becky becomes personally involved in all the transactions, from sourcing single properties to packaging deals up for investors, or creating a large hands-free portfolio. That sounds really, really interesting. And we're just talking, actually, just a quick story before we crack on today. I was just talking with Martin about my father. My father's been developing a property in Chigwell, and one of the tradesmen come down the other day, and the tradesman had his van outside. Unfortunately, somebody drove past and took some of his tools, but all part of the fun. Property is actually quite close to my heart. I've watched my parents develop quite a few properties, and the other day we did a really sort of fun Chapman family webcast, which is great. These guys today are going to give you an insight and an opportunity to look at property as an investment. I'm quite intrigued as well, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you across to Becky and Martin now. I'm sure they're going to enjoy talking to you about the webcast today and about property. If you're viewing today and you're viewing live, then of course on the viewer player in front of you, you've got the opportunity to increase the screen size, and as usual we're going to go through some PowerPoint presentation slides. If you're viewing this as a recorded video after the date that we actually went live, then of course contact details are always on the last slide of how you can find and contact the guys directly to find out more about what they do. So this is the guys' first webcast, I think, isn't it? Yeah?
It is, yeah.
And hopefully after today they're going to become web wizards, and who knows, maybe look at video marketing as a way of helping them to move their business forward. And as you guys probably know, I mean, the Google stats are showing that video marketing is one of the fastest growing areas on the internet. And in the next 6 to 9 months, video searches are going to exceed standard searches. So if you're not using video webcasts or video messaging as a platform, an additional tool for your business, you really do need to consider it. And listen, we're not professional TV presenters, we're just ordinary, everyday people communicating with everyday people that want to achieve greater success. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass across to the guys. The ladyship is in controls of the PowerPoint presentation, and the governor across the left here is going to be having some fun also. So I'm going to jump out of the screen and leave these guys to have some fun. I'll just be sitting to the side, and then after the presentation's finished, we'll come back in and probably have a little bit of banter and talk more about property and the fun we could all have. So listen, enjoy the show. Welcome to Raw TV, Epic Property Investments. Away you go, guys.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay. Hi, as Bradley said, my name is Becky Cooper, and this is my husband Martin. We've been in property for a total of 25 years now combined. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, recently the market's changed a lot, so we've had a lot of adjustments to deal with. We've been investing for ourselves during that time and also for other investors. People have come to us and wanted to know how we've done it. So we've taught some people various different ways, and we're just going to go through a few things that we do as a company now to ease people into property, maybe to get other people motivated and excited to go out and buy investment properties, so that you can see the possibilities of how to get some return on money. Anything else to add to that?
No, you're doing well so far.
Okay. So really the key thing that people ask us is, when's the best time to buy investment property? Well, really the best time's now. It's never been a better time. Since the 1950s, when records first began, we've seen that property returns on property have doubled sort of every 7 to 10 years, which has been fantastic. Obviously 2007 saw the height of the last property boom. Since then things have taken a downward turn. Certainly
Correction,
yeah, certainly a correction there. And obviously with a downward turn, things have meant that
So we're adjusting our camera speed here.
Sorry, Bradley. Getting up close and personal there to me. So 2007 saw the start of the global recession, really, which meant that property prices started to fall. People found themselves unable to sell their houses. Negative equity. Really trying time for lots of people. You know, meaning they were becoming repossessed and things like that. But obviously, with every downturn, someone is going to benefit, and we found that property investment opportunities have really increased tenfold, haven't they?
Yep.
We're based in East Sussex, down on the coast, and you know, lots of properties there have really suffered in the marketplace. Some people unable to sell, and lots of investors have come in, and we're now seeing yields of sort of 8 to 12% return on investment, which is fantastic for anybody, and certainly more than you'll get in the banks at the moment. I think 5%.
5% if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, I think, yeah, 5% return on your money in the bank.
It's locked in for 25 years. Or something like that.
Yeah. Unlike your property, where obviously you've got the asset, you've got the tangible bricks and mortar that we all like to talk about, and you've got the year on return. So, you know, fantastic time. And also the thing is, if you get in now, what's going to happen is property is very cyclical. Property prices will go back up. So don't be scared that you're going to be left with nothing, and it will go back up, and we'll see, as history has shown, that 7 to 10 years things double. So,
but there's the other side of that, it's the return you're getting from your rents, isn't it? It's, you know, you don't really have to concentrate too much on your capital growth. It's what you're getting now, which is, and that's set to go. You know, the rental market is around 10-15% at the moment, but that's set to go up to 20%, which is, for investors, is, you know, brilliant, isn't it?
Absolutely, no better time than to get in now.
Yep.
So, a few insider secrets into getting the best property and where to find them. It's really important to know how to find the best properties if you're sourcing property deals, and that's where really someone like ourselves come in. We've spent a lot of time getting to know estate agents, building good rapport, just generally being likeable and knowing your stuff. As a first newbie investor, you can go in and do this. You know, it's all about how you present yourself and being
just building up that relationship, and you know, and have them take you serious. You know, they see so many people going every day, you know, are not quite ready yet, but they see it as they're taking up their time. So you've got to do your time, get past that stage, let them know you're serious, and build up a relationship, isn't it? And we've taken the time, we've done that, we've done the legwork.
Yeah.
You know, and now instead of us calling them up, they're calling us up saying, you know, we've just got this house just come in, you know, do you want to come and have a look? You know, and that's like within hours of it coming on the market.
And that means that our investors and clients that work with us, you know, as we're in a great situation where we can say, yes, we'll be able to find you a property that will yield above 8%, which is really important to us. And we have very stringent criteria when we take on new investors and clients, so that people know, you know, what they're going to get. We're always looking to buy below market value, because that means that there's instant equity in the property from day one, which, you know, and also the yield will be more than 8% after all of your costs taken out, gross yield. And also we make sure that all the properties cash flow positive every month. So after your mortgage payments have come out, you know, you want to be left with some cash. That's the name of the game, you know. Maybe you're enhancing your income from another job. Maybe it's maybe your pension that you want to top up, you know. Any situation is possible, but obviously if you can get the cash flow, then that means that you're actually going to have some cash in your back pocket.
And we look at it as the other side of it as well. It's the long-term growth. You know, we'd like to retire pretty young,
soonish.
wouldn't we? Yeah. So you know, it's a long-term strategy, which we both know is going to pay off, and you know, we want everybody else to know that. So, you know, now's the time. Yeah,
absolutely. And now, obviously, it's fine to know where to get the properties from, but you've got to actually be able to negotiate the deals as well. And again, as Martin alluded to earlier, you know, when you go into estate agents, we've been very lucky. We've built up good rapport with people. And obviously your negotiation tricks come into play. Epic Property Investment Group, our company, had spent a lot of time learning the best way to negotiate from a few masters, and learnt some good Jedi mind tricks.
And made a few mistakes along the way. And you learn from those as well.
Absolutely. And we feel now that we're in a really fortunate position of being able to negotiate on fair terms, and that's very important as well, isn't it? Fair to people, because some people are private vendors that may be being repossessed, you know, facing life-changing situations. So we want to make sure that we're fair, but obviously for our clients and investors, we want to get the best possible price on a house, so that they're getting the best equity and cash flow. Very important as well, do your due diligence. You know, it may look good on paper, but is it actually a good buy? Is it a good find? Is it going to cash flow out well? You know, there's lots of websites out there now these days, houseprice.net, mouseprice.com, land registry. All of those websites are really important to find out, you know, the history of the property, what it's sold at before, the neighbourhood around the area. You know, that's why you would come to someone like us based in East Sussex that knows the area. There'll be more details on the website, but obviously we know Hastings, we know the surrounding areas, we know what properties sell at, what they rent at, and all those things are really important when you're looking at investing sums of money. So make sure that you do your due diligence. That's a bit of a mouthful. It is a bit of a mouthful. So deal sourcing companies, there's been a little bit of bad press recently, but we pride ourselves in having sort of built on our hard work and experience, haven't we, to get the best for our clients. We're very open and honest. We're happy to share our secrets with you, and our knowledge and experience to get the best property possible. It may be that you just want us to find you a property so that you can go off and complete, you know, the purchase on your own. You know, maybe you haven't got time to actually do the legwork, which is fine. We're more than happy to do that. Or it may be that you want the whole package deal done. You know, don't quite know. You're maybe a new investor and you want to get in.
Basically, you can come to us and you can do as much or as little as you like. You know, that's.
Yeah, and we're really here to help guide you, aren't we? And you know, learn from our mistakes that we've made. That's the the really key thing. And everybody makes mistakes in business and in buying and selling, and we've had our fair share. As long as you move on and you learn from them, then you learn a better business, really.
Yeah.
We're really hot on the ethics of deal sourcing and things, and with terms and conditions and things like that, because obviously this is people's money that we're dealing with. We don't want to be unfair. Obviously it's a business, so we know you pay us for a service, but we provide a great service. And as Martin says, you can come and ask us anything, phone us up, email us. We're more than happy to tell you, what's going on and share our tips and tricks. So that's good. Now, the final package that we do really is what we call our hands-free portfolio building service, which basically is about getting the baby without the labour pains, if you like. You come to us, you say, okay, I'd like to buy between 2 or 10 properties or more if you want. I've got X number of thousands of pounds to do that. And when we get during that first meeting, obviously that's when we get to do the number crunching. But you want to do it, you don't want anything to do with it, you want to just build that so that you get a cash flow return, so that you can remortgage maybe at 6 months, take that deposit out, put it into the next one, and over a number of years you can build up that portfolio completely no input from yourself. And it's a great thing. We kind of grow your child, as it were.
So we take it literally from the first stage right up to you, because you're your final tenant, your manager. Everything. So sourcing the property all the way through to finding your tenant and managing it for you, completely hands-free. No need to get your hands dirty at all. So you don't need to know anything about property. The best thing that you know is that obviously it does double every 7 to 10 years, as historical data has shown. Which is fantastic. Bricks and mortar, safe, safe as houses. I like that. Yeah, and you are getting the baby without the labour pains. Yeah. I like that bit. That sounds ideal to me. Yeah, and you can learn. You can watch it. You can watch your investment grow, and you can learn. And you may find that the next couple of you want to go off and do it yourself. And it's a good way of learning the property investment. Absolutely. Yeah. And of course it provides you with a passive income. Yes, that's the most important. Cash flow is king. Cash flow is. So really, anything else you wanted to say? Invest today. Invest today. We're really passionate. We've been doing this for a long time now, and we still love it. It still excites us. We still talk about it non-stop at home. Even our children talk about it. We're grooming them. Yeah. We're grooming them to take over so that we can go off and do our thing. But we love it. It's a fun experience. It can be scary. Probably a bit like doing this when we first started. It seems a little bit daunting, but now it doesn't seem so bad. No, not so bad. No. So if you want to invest in property, please give us a call or email us. The details are on the screen now, or visit the website at epic-property.com. We'd love to chat to you. Yeah, no obligation. Just we'll answer any questions. We're just here. Yeah, I mean it's the thing I found about the property investment is there's a group out there, and they're all willing to share information. It's not like, I've got a secret, I don't want to share it with anyone. Everyone shares everything. Yeah, there's some great networking events that we go to, and some great companies that are really happy to share. So, and now I think Bradley's going to come back and give us his final thoughts there.
Swing my chair in here, and I'm going to dive in. Fantastic. Yeah, so let's close up together. That's pretty good. Actually, I just want to say thank you to you guys, first of all, because I know that it's very daunting when you first do something on a web TV. For those of you that know me, you know I'm quite crazy, and I got to the stage where actually I don't really care anymore. You can take me as you find me. But you know what? One of the most important parts about starting my journey is a lot of you know the story. There's no point going over it now, but I wanted to work with people that were warm, that were caring, that were charismatic, that genuinely actually cared about what they do. And I've met these guys very, very briefly. We've been speaking over the phone. There's been communication back and forth, and I can actually tell that they really care about what they do, and they're actually conscientious. And I think one of the things that's important to me, and this is something for you guys to consider, these guys, one, they know the area. Two, they have built up the rapport, as they say, with their contacts. But three, they care. They care about your money. I'll tell you why they care about your money. Because if they don't do a fantastic job or a good job, it's their names that's going to reflect upon that. And these guys are putting their names out there, husband and wife team. They've gone through the highs and lows. I'm absolutely sure you two have had the odd Barney at home and the stress, and you've had the great moments when you really, this was a great one and we had a great return.
Yeah.
And this is what I was just thinking for these guys. Obviously, my final thoughts are, bricks and mortar are one of the safest bets for investments, and always have been, and that's what you've been talking about, Bex, with regard to the cyclical change and transfer. But also, today's been the first time that these guys have done a webcast video to communicate with potential clients. I just had this idea, which I won't say on air, but I'm going to chat to the guys afterwards that might help them to bring something new and fresh to their business. But listen, property investment is something I'm quite keen about. We've been approached by so many different property companies, but some of them are quite large, and my concern was that they wouldn't be small enough, that they wouldn't care enough, that they wouldn't take a real personal process in what they're doing, and I can tell that you guys will do that. So I want to wish you guys every single success. I would be more than pleased to have any emails from you of any news releases or press releases or things that you're doing, so I can update and put it into the real blog. I want to ask you a couple of questions about property. Right, so you know your area, right?
Yep.
And you've got your report. When you're driving around, perhaps at the weekend, and you're doing your shopping or you're out with the kids, do you always have your property head on? You always like, oh, do you see that? Or do you, and if you see something, what do you do? Do you pull up? What do you do? Are you like the nosy? Do you get stuck in there? Because I'm not afraid. I can imagine the old lady, right? You're over the fence, you're in there, you're getting information.
We always drive around with our property heads on, without a doubt. We'll see signs, or we'll look at properties and you'll know that they're a bit unkempt, and we have several ways of communicating with people. We leaflet, we'll do adverts locally, all sorts of ways of checking things. So I might stick a leaflet through the door and we'll see, and then we'll go back and we'll leaflet and try and get them to engage with us. That might be a property that looks like it's run down, maybe be about to be repossessed, or we'll see boards and we'll think, okay, and we'll get our iPhones out and we'll look at that on Rightmove while we're outside it and see how much it is. And because we know the area, we know what sort of prices we're looking at. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're buying so much and looking at so much, you know what's a good price, what's not a good price, what could be, what you could offer, what you could get, and what you can get away with. So it's constant, really. Yeah, there's no rest.
We dream about it.
We do dream about it. I did dream last night about a property as well.
So if you used to take you two guys and used to cut you down the middle, would it say property in the middle of your bow? Was that what it would say?
I think so, definitely.
Okay. Now, what about age groups? Let me just ask you, come a little bit tight to swing again.
Sorry.
Right. Let me just ask you about age groups, okay? And obviously, what we're trying to do, and I do this all the time. The audience is up there, and we keep forgetting to look. So, hi guys, we're talking about property. What I was going to ask the guys here is, what sort of age limits or age of clients can you deal with? Because I'm sort of thinking here that obviously you might need some disposable income, or you might need some existing asset, but there's also a bracket of people that have got to a certain age and they've had themselves bitten by the banks. They get no return from the banks, and they're sort of sceptical. They're worried about placing their investment. Property is a proven fact. So are there proven fact? Are there any clients that might be sort of 50s and 60s that are considering what their pension might be? The pension's not going to quite be. They need to zap their last few years of their pension. And is this a way of using property to bolster and increase that pension fund value in their golden years?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, completely. I mean, There are lots of mortgage companies out there now, buy-to-let mortgage companies that just don't have upper age limits. I think TMW, the Mortgage Works, have got an upper age limit of 92 on their products. So you're looking.
Counts me out.
No, so good.
About 78.
It used to be that people were worried that you could only get a mortgage up to 65, or that's gone out the window now. But mortgage companies are for buy-to-let, far more understanding of people needing to put top-ups on their pensions, which is a great example of somebody might have come out or sold their business, for instance, a little business that they used to run and retired, but essentially still want an income. So that investing in property is a great way to get that extra income. And as we said before, cash flow is so important. We don't buy properties, full stop, that don't cash flow out, because there's no, we're not looking at capital growth. That's an added bonus, certainly, and it's something that will happen. But we're looking at the here and now. That's what we live in. We have to pay the bills the same as everybody else. So we want cash flow month on month.
Well, yeah, not just that. I mean, if you've got money sitting in the bank, you're being hit from both sides. You're getting low interest rates, plus inflation is eating away at that money. Year by year, it's that figure's coming down.
Yeah.
So if you put it into bricks and mortar, not only are you getting the cash flow, your money's increasing. So can't stress it enough. It's definitely the thing to do, isn't it?
And conversely, once you have got it in bricks and mortar, the inflation eats away at your mortgage. So actually, your mortgage payment.
That's right. Inflation eats away at your debt, which is good. Yeah.
So it brings it down as well. So
it's a win-win situation.
Two great examples of how to really invest and make the most of your assets.
Okay, thanks for that. Very interesting. So what about geographic location? You guys, you're down the coast. Hastings, you mentioned, and some other areas you're covering. Is your intention or your aspiration? I mean, where you guys going? Because if you can make this work within your local area, are there any reasons for you not to consider growing it? Now, I'm not saying that you should have to grow, because last night my business coach said to me, Bradley, you've got to read Acres of Diamonds. And actually, the moral, I'm only halfway through, but the moral of the story is there's actually diamonds right on your front door, and sometimes you don't need to go a million miles away.
That's very
so, are your guys, is your aspirations, or is your plan to stay within this area and get really great at the area, really well known within the area, or once you've conquered that, will you start to look at pastures new and expand your geographic horizon, or you advertise to, if this makes sense, advertise to a larger audience, but say this is where our prime market is, because someone can invest with you guys from Scotland, but they're buying something on the south coast, potentially.
Yeah, sure.
What way are you guys going to plan this? What's the idea?
Over the next 5 years really is to build our knowledge. I mean, we've got a great deal of knowledge now down on the south coast. We would expand that a bit further south coastal region, I think. But as you said, a perfect example, you don't need to be based down in Hastings or the south coast area where we are to actually invest down on the south coast. I know that people in London are only getting 6% yields. We're getting routinely 10 to 12% yields on properties. Now,
is that because of area? Sorry,
absolutely because of area. Because it
really makes sense to switch some of your investments to where the yield is. I mean, it's like a fund. You've got a fund that's.
It's like you've got to find your gold mine areas, and Hastings is one of those gold mine areas. Isn't it?
Yeah. And if you're getting 6% in London, don't just come down the south coast. It's like an hour and a half on the train. You can come down, you can spend the day with us. We'll take you around, we'll show you the properties that we've brought, what we've done. We've always got one that's being refurbed, ready to go to the next level to rent out. So we can show you the whole refurb situation, we can show you ones that are tenanted. Come down and experience it with us. We're more than happy. We might even buy lunch for you.
Your money goes.
Lunch thrown in, eh?
Yeah, your money goes so much further, doesn't
it? It does, yeah. I mean, it certainly does. And all joking aside, we're more than happy show you how we do it.
And potentially Hastings is one of those areas that, if they've built a decent link from Hastings to London, it would property would just
it'll boom. But then of course it's best to get in now before it does boom, because then the rental.
They've been talking about a decent road for, I don't know, 50 years. So one day it might happen.
And then it'll be harder to invest because lots more people will be investing. So at the moment we're in a bit of a niche situation.
Grab the fruit before it's ripe.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you guys something else. Thanks so much indeed for that. I wanted to ask you guys a little bit more about this whole peace of mind thing. I mean, my parents have developed properties and rented properties, and we all know that you can get the most amazing tenant and you can get the tenants from hell.
Yep.
Now you guys are talking about this hands-off service, no hassle. We'll take, you know, the whole pressure out of everything for you. So somebody's going to buy a property, you guys are going to manage this process. If I understand it right, you're going to go through the process of getting it tenanted and handle the whole process. So is there anything for a client to worry about with regard to the service you're offering? Are there any risks at all for the client? Are there any concerns?
I don't think you can say you can never say there's no risk in property. Don't get into property if you aren't prepared to accept a low risk to your money. I mean, you know, there's always a risk involved, but we minimise the risks by having the correct systems in places. You know, we know what type of tenants are looking for what type of property. We know what type of property we want to buy. We know the yields we want. You know, so it's about knowing your market again and knowing the type of people that are going to rent.
Doing the checks.
Doing the tenant checks.
And having the experience that you've
And
done.
having
been through what you've been
We've
through.
all made mistakes.
Because you see the signs, don't you? You see the signs. Once you've seen them before, you start to see the signs.
Yeah,
don't you?
absolutely. So, you know, we minimise risks. And to do that, you have to have systems in place, and we've built our systems up, and they're robust.
Yeah, we in our early days, we've had a property that was completely trashed.
Yeah.
You know, but and at the time it's devastating. But if you look at the bigger picture, the long-term investment, we look back and laugh now. It's just
and we dealt with it, and that's the experience you get, and you learn, and you move on. And as Bradley says, you start to recognise the signs, and that's where maybe the new investor would be scared to invest because they think, oh, what if I get an awful tenant?
It's those things that hold people back from investing.
Don't hold back. You know, we've done that. We've made our mistakes so that you don't have to, and we'll share that experience with you so that, you know, your fears can be allayed.
This is a really good point as well, because I mean, you know, somebody's looking to get a good yield or return on their investment in the rental market. I would much rather go to somebody that's been through the challenges than someone that perhaps hasn't, because it makes you stronger individuals, it makes you wiser, and it makes you more commercially astute with the field of expertise that you're in. So let's talk about the rental market then just for a moment. Okay, and I'll give you an example. My parents bought another property a few years ago, and that property was like a new property, so it was an ex-show home, so very easy to rent it out, and tenants coming in is renting out. The return actually on this property in terms of rental is so great that actually they don't want to sell the property, because the return on rentals is far exceeding. And they say, well, over the next 5 to 10 years, the return on rental is X. It's actually not growing, this particular property. It's not in a particularly great area, but it's a beautiful property, and the rental income is doing really well. So they say, well, actually, let's not sell this one. Let's keep hold of this one, because rental income, and they've gone on and developed another one and kept this one as rental. So obviously the rental market is a great market, and once somebody gets into a property with you guys, do they then have options? I mean, if there was to be a sudden increase in a particular property in value, would you then say to them, well, there's a choice at this moment in time, but from an advising point of view, I'm not quite sure this works, but it may have jumped up X amount of thousands, and it might be that you can get out now with this returning X in terms of capital, and then shunt that into another one down the road that can give you an immediate yield on rental. What's your thoughts on that? And so, for example, would a client feel that not only are you looking after the property, are you looking after their investment
strategy?
What's the angle with that?
It's property's ever moving, and you know, places can be a run down derelict place, you know, 1 year and then up and coming the next. So we're always looking at those areas, and we'll advise our clients which way to go, because yes, you're absolutely right. You know, if it shoots up in value, that would be a good time to sell it, and then maybe invest it into other smaller places. So you're doubling that one particular part, aren't you?
And I think it depends which service. I mean, if if you're doing the hands-free service, then it's time to actually sit down and talk to people. But returning clients that may come back and say, well, look, I'm getting this great return, but can I get a better return? Like Martin said, can I take that out and put it into 2 properties? With the hands-free portfolio building service, obviously we would be looking at, if it's jumped up that much, then if you want to keep building your portfolio, then yes, pull it out of that, put it into 2 more, 3 more, whatever.
Yep, definitely.
And things change over the years as well with mortgages, and we've just seen the return of the 85% loan to value mortgage and things.
People that are financially challenged like myself. Yes.
And so things are moving again in a more positive direction for mortgages. And more mortgage companies are coming back into the buy-to-let arena. So we're going to see some more challenges and progress over the next year or 2 in property. So, but yes, we would kind of advise people what to do, and obviously see what they want, where they want to go.
Yeah, and another point is you don't need to have a lot of money yourself. I mean, it may be that you've got, well, you might not have anything, but if like your mum sitting on a little nest egg, or a friend who's got a bit of cash, you can JV with them to say, look, we pulled this money together. We want to get into the property market. Don't feel that you have to have a huge deposit, because you don't. You can always work something out. You can always find that deposit. Yeah.
And a call costs nothing.
A call costs nothing.
Yes.
That's right. And we're very approachable. If there's anybody out there that would like to joint venture with us, give us a call. We'll see what we can do.
Yep.
We're open to all sorts of different ways of working, and you have to be in property. You have to be very adaptable, and that's really why we've got where we are today, isn't it? And how we've done it, just by being adaptable and learning.
Absolutely fantastic. Listen, great, very exciting webcast today, and really pleased that you guys have taken the time to come up and join us in our new office. We're still under lots of changes and construction here, and trying to change a 2,000 square foot office into a 500 square foot office. So we're going through lots of challenges here. This is what business is about. This is what the guys are describing today. Everyday people achieving extraordinary things. And again, contact details. Do you want to read those out on the screen?
Yes, please call us on 0844 272 2618, or you can email us at info@epic-property.com, or our website is www.epic-property.com, and you can do any one of those 3 will be good. We'll be there, happy to help, either one of us at any time.
Yep.
Fantastic. Up for it. That's what I call it. These guys have got what I call the ready brick glow. I'm 40 years of age, so when I was a kid, it was the ready brick, it was the glow. These guys have got it. Do you want to just click forward the slide for us on the next one? Okay, so next time on Raw TV, we've got Dave Barlow coming on board. That's on Thursday, the 3rd of March. Where is the time going? We're in March already. Oh my God, I still think it's February. Okay, so 2 p.m. And next slide, please. And pretty much that's it from us today. Again, my book is in process. I'm about 3 chapters in now. I'm way behind schedule. This should have been out at the end of January. And Karen Whitelaw-Smith in Barbados writing your 2nd book. Yes, I am behind schedule. I apologise, and I love you and thank you for your support. It's a great thanks from me today on Raw Business TV, and it's thanks to the guys here today.
Thank you.
Martin and Becky, and we wish you every single success with your business, and of course please keep me updated on what's going on. And there's something I want to talk to guys off air about now, something new for their website, something they can do. But listen, thanks for joining us. We've had great fun today talking about property. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from the guys.
Bye-bye.